Even Mickey Mouse is horrified. This is a new low for the Duchess of Sussex, parading Archie and Lily around on a trip to Disneyland to boost her crumbling business empire. Does this woman know no shame? Now, the details of this story and questions about the authenticity of the photos will shock you. Now, Harry and Meghan have bored us to tears about the dangers of social media, particularly for children, and the importance of their privacy as a family. Apparently, that's why they left the UK and gave up their royal duties. Except, since they left, we've had the tell-all book Spare, the traitorous Netflix documentary, the podcasts, and the frankly wicked Oprah Winfrey interview, which contained so many appalling accusations about the royal family, they should have sued the couple till kingdom come. And now the couple place their children in the media front line for clicks, for noise, for fame, for publicity, and ultimately for cold, hard cash. This is all about money. Not only are Harry and Meghan the Duke and Duchess of double standards, with an intermittent relationship with the truth, let me just say that and no more, they appear to have no moral compass either. It is deeply unethical to splash photographs of your children all over Instagram in what is a clear effort by Meghan Markle to use her family and to use Archie and Lily to sell her lifestyle brand as ever. This is unforgivable. And let me tell you that when Archie and Lilibet are grown up, when they are big, they will never forgive their parents for having propelled them to this celebrity status, because it is a fame, it is a celebrity, and it is a position that they have not chosen. It's been foisted upon them, not really by Harry. It's been foisted upon them by their incredibly ambitious, fame-hungry mother, Meghan Markle. She really is one mother. Now, look, there's so much to unpick here. First of all, they're supposed to be on a family trip to Disneyland. No problem. It's a very enjoyable place. I went to Disneyland as a young child myself and vomited on Space Mountain. Who wouldn't? I revisited my lunch on that occasion because there are lots of twists and turns in that roller coaster. It's a very good ride, although utterly terrifying. But when I went to Disneyland with my lovely family, we didn't bring an official photographer. This was not a moment to publicise what a happy family we were. Of course, we weren't in the spotlight at the time. We were just normal people, but lots of celebrities go to places like Disneyland. They go to the cinema. They go to the theatre, they go to sports events, and they don't bring a photographer with them, and they don't post their activities on social media. So a photographer's been deployed because it's not Harry taking the picture, it's not Meghan, it's clearly someone else. So this is planned. This is a strategy. So when Meghan says to the kids, hey, I'm taking you to Disneyland, they think, oh, thanks, Mum, that'll be a lovely adventure. What they don't realise is this is all part of her master plan to make money and to become even more famous and powerful. So they bought a photographer, so it's planned, right? This is a marketing and branding exercise. Now, I don't mind a bit of marketing and branding. The Mark Dolan Show has marketing and branding. Of course we do, because you and I are building a media revolution here. And soon, by the way, there will be sponsors for the Mark Dolan Show. Watch this space. The reason why, because you are so incredibly committed to this project. You're so loyal. You're so engaged. Without you, there is no channel. There is no Mark Dolan Show. And in time, it's going to grow as a commercial enterprise. And I'm so honoured and I'm so excited. So look, here we go. That's fine. That's business. Everyone's got to pay the rent. We've all got bills to pay, haven't we? And you have to have marketing, you have to have a strategy, but you don't use Archie and Lilibet. You don't deploy the kids as a way of boosting your ailing business empire. And that's what Meghan's done. So no offer from Meghan can be taken at face value. When she says, I'll take you to Disneyland, that can't be taken at face value. That is a marketing opportunity. Imagine using your offspring for that cynical purpose. You have to wonder, when Archie gets invited to, I don't know, kick around a football with his dad in the local park, are they going to bring a photographer to that as well? When Lily gets one of her molars removed at the dentist, will they bring a photographer to that? Or maybe even a film crew to capture the whole thing for Meghan's 3.7 million followers on Instagram. Nothing is sacred to this woman. Nothing is off the table. So why can't they just go to Disneyland and have a good time? Why do they have to post for photographs, and why do they publish those photographs on social media? And also, I'll tell you another thing. They have not been to Disneyland in the way that you and I would go. Because when we go to Disneyland, we pay a lot of money for the tickets. I've got no doubt that the Markles paid nothing, because the Markles are cheap. They love a freebie. They took free accommodation from Elton John when they were having such trouble with the royal family and needed refuge at Sir Elton's palace on the south coast of France. And everything, the flights that they haven't paid for over the years, accommodation, gifts, ridiculous trips abroad, all of it paid for either by the British taxpayer or by generous donors. And we know that Harry loves the corporate dollar. He turned up to China the other day, a deeply corrupt and evil regime, but he's quite happy to put his face to the Chinese project for money makes the world go around. Terrible. So cynical. The pair of them are cynical. And so I doubt that they paid for these tickets to Disneyland. You and I would have paid, and I don't know what the prices are, but it's going to be expensive. Disneyland is not a cheap day out. You probably got at least, $50, $75 for a ticket. Then you've got to buy the popcorn, and you've got to buy the drinks, and you've got to buy the snacks, and the merchandise, and the Donald Duck hats, and the Minnie Mouse outfit. It's costly. It costs so much money to go to these theme parks. And I doubt Meghan and Harry paid a cent towards that experience. And by the way, do you think they queued? Because that, of course, is the worst thing about these amusement parks, is the queuing. But not Meghan Markle. She doesn't queue. She likes to go to the front of the queue because she's not a normal person. And she doesn't want to be a normal person. She stopped being a normal person in 2017, when she met Harry and she got to work occupying this foolish and naive young man in a complete emotional land grab, took the guy, turned him against his family and his country, and brought him to, I want to be in America. And the rest is history. The poor guy is trapped now. It's not a marriage, folks. It is a hostage situation. We should send in a SWAT team to get Harry out. We really should. And maybe we could use helicopters, because Harry likes helicopters. He was in a helicopter when he took out 25 Taliban. At least that's what he says. So they didn't queue for the rides. They doubtless didn't pay. They were lavished with free merchandise. It's a tremendous branding opportunity for Meghan and for Disney. Disney quite happy to have Meghan Markle publicising this famous theme park. So what rides did they go on? I'm just wondering how appropriate some of the rides at Disneyland were. I wonder if they went on Dumbo the Flying Elephant. That sounds like an accurate description of Prince Harry, doesn't it? Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Humpy dumpy dumpy dum. The world's the world's least happy millionaire, the flying elephant. Humpy dumpy dumpy dum. I'm Dumbo. I'm Prince Harry. I've got a big trunk. Have you seen my trunk? Humpy dumpy dumpy dum. I mean, seriously, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, without being unkind, that could quite easily be Prince Harry's nickname. Also, what about the Mad Tea Party? That's another ride. The Mad Tea Party, which sounds like a scene from Meghan's Netflix TV show when she tried to make tea for her friends and burnt the milk, spilt stuff on the floor, and made everyone physically sick with her flour sprinkles. Did they go on Space Mountain, I wonder? The aforementioned, upon which I indulged in some unexpected vomitation. Did they go on Space Mountain? Well, that would be appropriate too, because Harry and Meghan are a pair of space cadets themselves. And what about the Haunted Mansion? Did they go in there? Surely less terrifying than their $20 million mansion in California in Montecito. Montecito. Honestly, would you rather spend an overnight stay at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland or Harry and Meghan's creepy house in Montecito, California, which for some reason has 16 bathrooms, reportedly? Is that because of the amount of BS that those two produce that has to be flushed down the toilet on a daily basis? I would be comfortable. I would be positively relaxed at the Haunted Mansion than spend 10 seconds in their Montecito palace. Thanks, but no thanks. Because their Montecito home is haunted by the ghost of Meghan Markle. Don't you know? I'm not Meghan Markle anymore. I'm Meghan Sussex. Absolutely terrifying. Am I the only one that finds Meghan Markle absolutely terrifying? She sends a shiver down my spine. She is ghostly. She is terrifying. She is otherworldly. And she's dark. There are dark forces at play. I'm not a fan. And this is a terrible thing to say, but it's just my judgment. I don't consider Meghan to be a force for good. I really don't. I look at how toxic she's made the relationship between herself and her husband and the royal family. I think she's toxic. I think she's disruptive, all of those things. So it seems now for the Markles that every aspect of family life is an opportunity for brand content. We had Archie's birthday photo at the coast in Mexico. By the way, the couple's so worried about their safety, but they go on holiday in Mexico where there are drug cartels and gangsters and kidnappings. Well, that's a good place to take Archie for his 6th birthday, isn't it? So they posted a photo of Archie in the criminal war zone that is Mexico. What about Lily's birthday photos? Poor little thing is 4 years old. She's not chosen to be a celebrity, but now she's been shared on Instagram with 3.7 million followers. And the birthday photos, obviously very intimate photos of Meghan with the baby. Not something that Lily has had a say in. When Lily and Archie are older, they will never forgive their parents. And of course, Lily was made famous before she was even born by the filming of that twerking dance video, which of course we've covered at length on this show. Now, here's the thing. Are you ready for a truth bomb? Because Harry doesn't want this. He doesn't want all of this. Okay, because fame is what killed his mother. Or at least that's his view. Harry thinks that it's fame that killed his mother. And the press and the paparazzi. Well, Meghan Markle is now her own family's paparazzi. Paparazzi! 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 That is the truth, isn't it? Meghan Markle is her own family's pap. She paps the kids. Who paps their own children? Meghan paps the kids. She paps the kids. She paps them. She paps them down to Chinatown is where she paps them. She paps the kids. Papa don't preach. I'm in trouble deep. Papa don't preach. I've forgotten the rest. Madonna. What an artist. Look, it's a shocking thing. Madonna didn't do that. Madonna, by the way, one of the most famous women in the world, a very accomplished lady with a famous conical bra. Do you remember the conical bra that was pointy? I used to wear one of those. It was very fetching. It flattered my figure, just the right proportions. I'll dig out the photo. She's quite something, Madonna. I mean, I feel that she's got a screw loose. I think we can say that. I think she is an eccentric lady, to say the very best. But she sold a couple of 100 million records. Biggest selling female artist of all time. And she's controlled her life, you know. She's done what she wanted. She's had the boyfriend, she's had the husband, she's had the fame, she's had the money, she's had the career. She's driven it all. But dear old Madonna, old Madge as she's known, has never used anyone else to make herself famous, including her own kids. What do you know about Madonna's kids? Tell me one thing you know about Madonna's kids. That there is nothing, you will know nothing. Because actually, she's serious about privacy, that she didn't use her kids to sell records. And that is the equivalent of what Meghan Markle is doing. That her kids are now part of the PR machine. And Harry doesn't want it because he thinks that fame killed his mother, and he might be right. I don't always agree with the H-bomb with Harry with, my husband. I don't always agree with him. But I think he might be right that it was fame that killed Princess Diana, may God rest her soul. And so for him, the idea of making your kids famous, drawing attention onto them, making photographers interested in having pictures of your kids, that is anathema to Harry. It's the opposite of what he wants. Harry doesn't want to be famous because fame is something only pursued by people that didn't have it and want it. And Meghan was an obscure young girl and an aspiring actress. She pursued fame, no problem. But that's not Harry's journey. Harry was born famous and has been trying to shrug it off ever since. But I feel sorry for him because he's married someone that craves the thing that he hates, which is fame. She wants the thing that he considers to be kryptonite for a human being. I think he's right. I think fame is unhealthy. That level of fame is not good for you. It's not healthy. And most normal celebrities, when they become famous, like Paul McCartney, hello, I'm Paul McCartney, and I wrote Hey Jude. By the way, wouldn't it be great to be Paul McCartney? Imagine you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh, my back's a bit sore. And I've just got a parking ticket and an unexpected tax bill. But then do you know what? Okay, I've got a bad back, parking ticket, tax bill. But then again, I am Paul McCartney, so it's not all bad, is it? Whatever happens to Paul McCartney in his day, if he steps on a piece of Lego barefoot in the dead of night, right? That's going to be a very painful experience. But surely made less painful by the knowledge that you're Paul McCartney. And he can look in the mirror and go, I've stepped on a piece of Lego barefoot, But anyway, I am still Paul McCartney, and I wrote Hey Jude. So, but what do we know about Paul McCartney's kids? When they were small, what did we know about Paul McCartney's kids? We knew nothing. We knew diddly squat. We knew zip. We knew zilch. Because McCartney was private. Now, this is going to be, he's rock's first billionaire, one of the most famous men in the world, sold unlimited numbers of records. The Beatles changed the world. Paul McCartney, does it get better? In the comments, does it get bigger than Paul McCartney? No. What did we know about his kids when they were growing up? Nothing. Famous man, the Beatles. Don't know anything about his kids. It is possible. What did he do? He bought a farm. Mull of Kintyre. He bought a farm in Scotland. In Scotland. You're quite welcome. He moved to Scotland, which is a beautiful country, populated by excellent people and a lot of sheep, a lot of livestock. McCartney moved to that place in Scotland, and it was privacy because he was serious about it. There are any number of celebrities. We don't know much about their kids. We know maybe how many they've got, what their names are. That is it. But for Meghan and Harry, they are part of the brand, part of the product. It's deeply wrong, and it breaks my heart because Harry doesn't want this. He doesn't. Do you disagree? I don't think Harry wants this. Because the bottom line now, Meghan, she paps her own kids. Right? She paps her own kids. And she's in charge of everything. The takeover of Harry and the family is complete. Meghan has won. It's over. The war is over. Meghan has won. She has. She's got a degree of money now. They've got some money, although I believe, and I've spoken it in a previous video, that I think essentially, in Hollywood terms, Harry's flat broke. But on paper, they've got some cash. They've got the mansion. She's got her kids. She's got the global fame. She's got her pathetic company that she keeps closing and opening again with the flower sprinkles. I love my flower sprinkles. She's got a product in a jar, which is essentially dried, chopped up flowers, which we're supposed to eat. Okay. Now, these flower sprinkles are toxic. They're hallucinogenic, in my opinion. They're a public health hazard, and we're not supposed to eat flowers. I'm no scientist. Professor Stephen Hawking, I am not. But I'm willing to conjecture that human beings are not supposed to eat flowers. When did you last see someone munching through a geranium or a chrysanthemum? When did you see someone gobbling up a smoothie processed from daisies and dandelions? Thanks, but no thanks. Now, I know technically there are some flowers that you can eat. There's a few leaves here and there, but generally we don't eat flowers. But anyway, Meghan's got her product, the flower sprinkles. The takeover is complete. Meghan has won. Harry is a passenger now. He's got no leverage because Meghan has sucked the value out of him. Because we've had the book, we've done the podcast. That's it. Harry has no talent. He probably a nice enough guy, right? Let's not make this character assassination. He's a human being. But his value, his pecuniary value is gone. His firepower is gone. He's a busted flush. His value has been redeemed by his aggressive wife. And so now he just has to go along with everything that Meghan says. It's not a democracy. I mean, before they got married, he was reported as saying, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. That was before they got married, when he still was part of the royal family, when Harry was the one calling the shots. He was the one with the cachet. It was his father that was going to be the next king of the United Kingdom. And even then, he was yielding to her narcissistic power by saying what Meghan wants, what Meghan gets. By the way, what an obscene thing to say. I mean, that's an absurd thing to say in relation to anyone. There isn't anyone in the world that you can say what they want, they get. That's just wrong. That is not a human thing to say, because we all make compromises and none of us get everything that we want. And to imply that you can, or to seek to guarantee it through coercive behavior, is shocking and a disgrace, and it's enabling. And so you can see that Harry, all those years ago, in 2018, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. It's a shocking thing to say, feeding the monster of her ego and demonstrating into the bargain what a spoilt little so-and-so he is too. Because, of course, that's an ego trip. Saying, you know, what my wife wants, she gets, is a flex by him too. Because he's no angel himself. I sometimes think we're too hard on Meghan, and we don't make that guy accountable for his behavior, because he is a grown man and ought to know better. But no, he's been hoodwinked. He's in her pocket. And I've got to ask you, is every moment of their children's lives going to be publicized now? Well, the answer is, if Meghan wants to, then yes. And by the looks of it, that is what's going to happen. I mean, it's been a blitzkrieg. It's almost every other day that Archie and Lily are on Instagram. I don't think it should be allowed. I think it should be illegal, because a child cannot give their consent to being published in that way. So I think it is unethical. And it's interesting, isn't it? Adoption. You know how hard it is to adopt a child. It's very difficult to adopt a child, because if you want to adopt a child, you have to demonstrate that you've got a correct income, that your marriage is secure and stable, that you don't have a criminal record, that you will provide a lovely home, a good education, healthcare. You go through the most extraordinary audits if you want to adopt a child. And yet, look at Harry and Meghan and how they're raising their kids. Do you think that you would pass the adoption test if you said to the authorities that you are having to convince, you know, you're appropriate? If you said to them, oh, by the way, just so you know, every other day I will post pictures of our adopted child to my 3.7 million followers on Instagram. I mean, the local authority, the council, whoever it is that's deciding whether you're an appropriate potential parent or not, would literally be out the door faster than you can say thanks, but no thanks. It would be over, wouldn't it? You wouldn't be able to adopt a child if you admitted that you would be plastering them on social media every other day. But Harry and Meghan, of course, it's their kids and they can do what they like, and that is what they're doing. Now, in just a second, controversy about the authenticity of those photos. But can I just make a comparison between Lily and Archie? And by the way, none of these kids do I judge. Right? Lily and Archie, I've got no doubt they're adorable, and I wish them all the best for very happy lives. I'm sure they're fabulous little people. It's their parents I'm worried about. But here's a question for you. How well are Archie and Lilibet going to fare compared to George, Charlotte and Louis? Because you've got two families from the same generation, haven't you? George, Charlotte and Louis, who are the offspring of William and Catherine. And then you have Archie and Lily, offspring of Meghan Markle and H, my husband. So you've got that chaos. And then you've got William and Catherine. Tell me in the comments, which family is going to fare better? When those kids are grown adults, which of the groups of kids will be better adjusted? George, Charlotte and Louis, or Lily and Archie? I think you know the answer. Look at George, Charlotte and Louis. How much do we know about them? We know nothing about them. And yet they are, after William, they are next in line to the throne. We know nothing. What do we know about George, Charlotte, Louis? We know nothing. Just like the children of Paul McCartney, I wrote Hey Jude, peace and love, Hey Jude. I better not sing any Beatles because it will cost the show £77 million for 3 seconds. But we know nothing. I couldn't tell you a thing about George, Charlotte and Louis. I know that Louis is cheeky because we've seen him in public at those wonderful occasions like the King's coronation and the Queen's Jubilee and all of that. He's a smashing little kid. But we don't have any details. We know that they go to school and that they love their mummy and daddy. And that they support Aston Villa, which is a famous English soccer club. But we don't know anything. That's all we know. We don't see them plastered on Instagram every other day. Ironically, they are next in line to the throne after their father. So they're much more famous, but we know much less about them than the Markles of Montecito. And they've got more privacy. The kids whose grandfather is king have more privacy than the nobodies over in Montecito. It's too ironic, isn't it? And the Markles, by the way, will be the ultimate Nepo babies. At what point? Because we know that Meghan's been playing games with surnames and that there was talk of Harry changing his name from Mountbatten Windsor to Spencer, which was an act of spite against his own father. At what point do those kids become Markles? At what point does Meghan perform the ultimate land grab? Because we know she thinks they're her kids anyway, because she does what she wants with them. Because there's no way Harry wants Lily and Archie on Instagram. He doesn't. He doesn't want pictures of his kids on the internet. He does not, because he believes that that's the kind of stuff that took out his dear mother. She was chased by paparazzi through that Paris tunnel, and the drunk security guard driver of Mohammed Al Fayed was speeding through the tunnel, allegedly to get away from foreign paparazzis on motorbikes, right? The Markles don't need foreign paparazzi on motorbikes because Meghan's there with her smartphone. But they will be, at what point will they be just Markle? At what point will it be Lily Markle and Archie Markle? It's just a matter of time. I mean, when they inevitably divorce, as you know, the Mark Dolan show has placed Harry and Meghan on 24/7 divorce watch. When they divorce, then I wouldn't put it past Meghan to change the name of her kids to Archie and Lily Markle, with a clear message that they are hers. That's my prediction, because she's obsessed with names and what people are called. She said to Oprah Winfrey that she lamented losing the name Markle because it was part of her identity. So she cares about that. She's hung on. She clung on to the Duchess of Sussex title and HRH, which she's used against the wishes of the Queen, the late Queen Elizabeth, because she's very interested in how things are branded. And that's what this photo op at Disneyland is all about. It's all about branding. So she wrote to her followers on Instagram. She said, "Thank you, Disneyland, for giving our family 2 days of pure joy." And by the way, she thanks Disneyland. Why has she thanked them? She's thanked them because she got that trip for free. That's what you do. It is, what do you call it? Is it quid pro quo? Is that what they call it? It's a deal with the devil. It's like, you give me tickets and I'll say nice things about you on social media. Thank you, Disneyland, for giving our family 2 days of pure joy. Because you see, they don't pay for these things, not like idiots like you and I. So there you go. And by the way, obscuring Archie and Lily's face does not make it better. It creates, as I've said before, more curiosity. So listen, folks, that is fascinating. And there's so much to unpick about this story. Can I thank you so much for your crazy support for this channel? Don't forget to subscribe if you can. Please like and hit the notification bell, because then every time there's an emergency video, then you'll get alerted. But let me tell you that the Mark Dolan show drops daily at 4:45 p.m. in the UK. That's right, 4:45 p.m. in the UK. And it's 8:45 a.m. West Coast of America, 11:45 a.m. East Coast of America, and late night or early hours down under. Can't wait for the next video. So many big stories to get through. Stay awesome, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.